So good evening, you absolute legends. We got there in the end. Those people who are joining us live, those people on the replay, if they're watching it on YouTube, won't even see any of the technical prowess that I require to start this feed off every single week. But I hope everybody is well. It's Monday evening. It's just gone 9 o'clock. It's the 14th of August. Anything could happen this week. Let me know if you are here live in the Facebook feed. Let me know if you have any exciting news. Anything incredible surprised you already on this Monday. I'm always up for hearing about that. We'll give some people a little shout out. Alex is here now as well. Good to see you, Alex. Tom's dog has just eaten his business cards, apparently. Tom, sad times, mate. Sad times. Get them reprinted. Caroline's in the house. Indy's here. Terry's here. Natalie's here as well. Indy says got an award for No More Red. That's a film, isn't it? That's a film that you were doing. Upgraded to nominee level at a big film festival. Accepted into another 2 film festivals. It's not even Tuesday yet. You know what I mean? Not even Tuesday yet. So, good work, Indy. Keep up on that. Let us know what else is going down. Let us know if we can see the film anywhere as well. So we've got loads to cover tonight, as usual, folks. Going to be diving into last week's ActsOnThis.tv member-only Zoom call that we had with high-performance mindset coach, Mr. Matt Hall. Going to be explaining to you guys what is going down tomorrow night for members of ActsOnThis.tv. If you're not a member, you'll see at the bottom of the screen here, or if you're listening on the audio experience, I'll tell you. You can go and get a 7-day trial to Act On This for just £1 if you go to actonthis.tv/trial. So pretty straightforward. actonthis.tv/trial if you want to get a trial. And I promise you, once you've got a trial, you'll be like, why the hell did I not do this years ago? I'm going to go over to the website now because I want to show you, what happened last week. So this is the site. Most people here know this. You're on this all the time. If you go over into your members area now, folks, you will see, if you are a member, in your premium dashboard, you'll see the recording of what was a 2.5-hour mammoth session on motivation and mindset with world record breaker and high performance mindset coach, Mr. Matt Hall. We talked about ultimately the 3 things that make you limitless when it comes to your psychology, your mindset, your motivation, your methods. Basically, how you're looking at the world, how you're looking at the industry, how driven you are internally to go and achieve things within the industry. And then we looked at the methods that you might currently be using to achieve stuff. So you can go, actually, you know what? Is this stuff working? Do I just need to put in a bit more time doing the same stuff? Or have I been rinsing and repeating the same old nonsense now for 3 years, 4 years, and I'm not getting any further? So maybe I need to just tweak my methods, switch them up a bit. Not necessarily like, rebuild them from scratch, but just start, having a look at like what is working in your career, what isn't, reviewing it, and then going, right, what can I change? What can I improve? Maybe you've been sending the same show reel out for the last 2 years in the same order. You've actually got better as an actor now. You could shoot something new and start your reel off with that, but you're like, don't have the motivation to do it. Well, we have to look at why that is the case. Have you lost your emotional connection with why you actually wanted to be in this industry in the first place? If you weren't on that session, I'm going to play a little mashup of like some of the things that we covered out now. And if you were, while this is playing out, if you're here live on Facebook, I'd just love to know like your main takeaway from this session. There were lots, but hopefully you just took away maybe one thing that you acted on at the end of last week. Maybe you started acting on today, start of this week. Well, let us know what it is, so I can hold you accountable, basically, and then go, right, are you continuing to do that? So here's a little bit of what you missed, and it's only 2 minutes long, and I want to know what your main takeaway was if you didn't miss it. It's 2 times world record breaker and high performance mindset coach, Mr. Matt Hall, back in the house. So tonight, it is all about mindset and motivation. Motivation is a critical component of becoming limitless.
If you feel you're limited right now and you're not achieving what you want, let's look at these 3 things.
Mindset, motivation, and methods.
These are 3 questions to ask yourself right now. We're going to go through them. So question number 1 is, what am I focusing on? What meaning am I giving to that thing? And the third one is, what am I doing because of this?
There is a formula for motivation.
The P is your purpose. Whenever you're lacking motivation to achieve something that you want to achieve, one of the things that might be causing that is you've lost emotional connection to why it matters. If you don't have good energy, there's going to be a shelf life on how motivated you are. You can't keep pushing if you don't have energy. S3, small simple steps. The third piece of the puzzle when it comes to lacking motivation.
Next up, we're going to look at methods, Matt.
I think the key thing about methods is to consistently keep reevaluating what you're doing and look at what's working, why is it working, what's not working, why is it not working, asking the question, is it just that I need to take longer and keep doing it for longer? Is that the problem? And I just need to have patience? Or actually, is there a better way?
People end up with the same headshot they've had for 4 years, the same reel they've had for 4 years, and the same email copy and paste they've used for the last 4 years. It's led to 0 auditions, and yet they're still sending it out hoping that something is going to change. So if you take control of these 3 areas, ultimately, you can become limitless.
Please don't delay happiness. Please don't rob yourself of years and years and years of being happy now just because you keep thinking it's going to come in the future. It's there right now in this moment if you choose to focus on it.
ActOnThis.tv if you want to get yourself a membership and unlock literally instantly, along with hundreds of other hours of incredible chats with the biggest names in the industry. Yeah, if you want to unlock the full 2.5 hour session with Matt there, get yourself a membership. You'll find it in your members area right now. And for those people who are watching this or listening to this and you're already a member and you've not checked that one out yet, please check it out. It's quite interesting. At the start of that session, we were saying that sometimes, I get it. Lots of Act On This members, they look at the sessions with casting directors as the sexy ones, the like TV directors, agents, because they're like, right, these people can really help me push my career forward. And then they might not watch or turn up to a session on high performance mindset. And ironically, without the mindset, you're not ever going to be able to put yourself in a position to act on all the other stuff when it comes to the agents and the casting directors, because your mindset and belief system is probably going to be broken. You're probably going to be massively limiting yourself with what you think you can and can't achieve in the industry, whether it comes to validation, feeling enough, believing in yourself enough. So without the mindset, the other stuff is kind of pointless. So please, if you did skip that session or if you were thinking of skipping it, take it in this week. Just listen to the audio only version if you want. Just pop some earphones in while you're walking the dog this week, or you're walking and getting your 10,000 steps a day in, or in the gym, or you're on the way to an audition, or you're just at your day job. Pop those headphones in. Honestly, listen to that. It should really, really give you a kick up the backside. It might just be the unlock for you to, start taking more action in the industry to get what you want this year. And there is still plenty of time to get what you want this year. I'm feeling it. I'm sensing it in emails I'm receiving from actors that they're like, time's running out. End of the year's nearly here. I might as well just sack it off for this year. There's so much time left. We're only halfway through August. We've got half of August left, all of September, all of October, all of November, most of December. You've got practically 5 months left. That's a lot of time to achieve the things that you want to achieve. Alex says his biggest takeaway from the session with Matt was what Matt was saying about being happy now and not putting happiness on a destination. He said it's easier said than done, though. But no, it is, but it is something that you can be conscious of on a daily basis. And it's all mindset stuff is very easy to go along with and appreciate when life is going well. It's very hard to implement this stuff when life isn't going very well. But it's in those moments where you really need to implement this stuff. So it's important to implement it even when things are going right, because it's almost like a gym. It's like a gym for your mind, for your psychology. It's going to make you tougher. It's going to give you more mental toughness for when shit does hit the fan, which it inevitably will. It absolutely will. I was speaking to an actor today, very successful, hugely successful, to be honest with you, like pretty much household name. And they were messaging me that, and this is, you said this is a first world problem, but it's still a problem. They've got another property that's not the house they live in full time, and they just got a notification through from the water company today to say since the 3rd of August, oh God, this is horrific. It's like that's over 10 days ago. That there's been a leak in the house, leaking over 570 litres of water a day. So they've been punched in the face. So, it doesn't matter how many TV credits you've got. Life can just smash you in the face and go, you are. Basically, your house is falling down now. And the kicker was that the insurance ran out 6 days ago. It didn't get renewed. They knew it needed renewing because the email was in their inbox, but they didn't renew it. So it's in moments like that where you need to go, right, okay, now this is when I need the mental agility and the toughness to go, okay, how do I not look at this as happening to me? How do I look at it as happening for me? And, and how do I just convince myself that it's okay and that I will get through it and move on? It's equally not as bad as somebody getting a terrible health, kind of scare or something today. So it's all relative. But yeah, life's going to basically punch you in the face, many twists and turns. So you got to be ready for it. You got to be ready for it because no one gets away scot-free, So the more you can work on your mindset, the better. But it is hard, Tom. Not Tom, Alex it was, wasn't it? It is difficult, to sort of practice that, to go, actually, I can choose happiness today. Regardless of what's happened, I can find joys in the little things, a smile with somebody, something that, looks nice, a cup of coffee with someone, a conversation, a sunset. But it's stuff that we don't focus on. We focus on, why am I not on the telly yet? Why am I not on Netflix yet? Why is that person in there and their shit? I could have done better than that. Oh, I can't believe it. I auditioned for that part. Why did they get it? Don't matter. If you woke up this morning above ground, today is a good day. With air in your nostrils, today is a good day. Terry said, listen to Matt's chat a couple of times over the weekend. I started to recalibrate on a couple of areas of my output. Nice one, Terry. Yeah, we talk a lot about output over outcome. When me and Matt do a lot of coaching, we did a program last year called Bulletproof Factor. You can go to bulletprooffactor.com. Those people who really want to nail their mindset. Once a year, we run a program that goes super, super deep on that, specifically for actors. And we talk a lot about output over outcome. So ultimately, the output, what you do, what you put out there, your productivity on a daily basis is completely under your control to the most part. Whereas the outcome isn't. There's a lot of things in the acting industry where you cannot control the outcome. You can take more control over outcomes than you might realize, but you can never, go into an audition going, I'm going to get this job 100%. You can go in confident if you've prepped, if you feel that, it's bang on your casting type, you've done everything that you can to research the show, your lines you've nailed, you understand the scene, you've worked on your craft. You might be like, I've got a 7, 8 out of 10 chance here of getting this role. It can never be 10 though. You just can't control that. So yeah, focusing on the output is critical. That's the stuff that makes the difference, Whereas, if you're sending out, you focus on your output for 1 week, Terry, and you go, right, well, you know what, I've done some outreach to casting directors this week, and I've sent 5 emails, and then that's the only output you do for the next 6 months. The actor who sends 2 emails a week, every week for 6 months, that output is going to be way, way higher than yours. So, yeah, it's just consistency as well is interesting. Mark, how you doing? Says, hope you're well. Hope you are well as well, Mark. Thanks for being here, mate. Let's have a look. What else is going on? Let me see if there were any other takeaways from that session with Matt. There's a lot of people just commenting on that flood in that actor's house. Honestly, yeah, it's like, oh... That's a tricky one. Caroline says she finished an amazing 2-day screen intensive with Steve Hughes at the weekend. Steve's an incredible director, Caroline. So glad you got to work with him. If anybody doesn't know who Steve Hughes is, if I just go over to the website quickly again, in the members area, if you search inside your Acts on This membership by clicking search on the top corner there, just type in Hughes. And you'll find 2 sessions with Steve. So we've got a previous one, getting on a TV director's radar the right way. That's just the same one, isn't it? It's the same one repeated because it's in 2 different sections. I thought we'd kept the old session with Steve, but no, we've updated it. This was only a couple of weeks ago, wasn't it? Like 3 or 4 weeks ago. Getting on a TV director's radar the right way with BAFTA-winning TV director Steve Hughes. Go watch that session this week as well if you've not already watched that. What was your biggest takeaway from working with Steve, Caroline? Would love to know how he works. I never worked with him. I feel like I know him really well through interviewing him quite a few times, but I've never worked with him. So yeah, let us know what your main learning experience was there. Let's have a look. Finished. What's John saying? Hi, Ross and community. Was just reading an article about drama schools in the UK on Deadline that was really negative, but on the plus side, it's on the plus side, in the most positive community in the industry here and now. As in here, the Acts on This community is the most positive community in the acting industry, full stop. That's interesting. I mean, I've got a lot of opinions on drama school, mate. I went to one of the top drama schools in the country, and I feel that, really, business side of things did not prepare me whatsoever for the business at all. I ultimately rolled around the floor for 3 years, to be fair, like pretending I was on the bottom of the sea and like dancing around to music, and don't know how useful that was for my acting career, to be honest, which is why I basically had to learn how to act again from leaving. It's fine for theatre, but we did 2 weeks of no, not even 2, 1 week of TV acting in 3 years. So I would really love to go to drama schools. I've said it a million times, and just give them a curriculum on actually the business side of the business. I still want to launch at some point this year, Act on This University for drama schools, if I can get some kind of hookup with the drama school to do a test run of. I know I could make a massive difference by giving them access to features that we've recorded at actsonthis.tv. It'd be game changing, as opposed to them just studying Brecht, Chekhov and Shakespeare, coming out to the industry and realizing that like it's so antiquated and it's just never going to lead to work. So that's my opinion, John, but you're in the right place now. We are in a very, very positive place. So couple of things to discuss. Actually, I've got quite a lot of things on my mind, really. I don't know what to go through with you guys. First, let's talk about tomorrow night, first of all. So, tomorrow night, for members of actsonthis.tv, 8 p.m, we have got a brand new session for members only. It's a Zoom call, private Zoom call. We do this every week for people who don't know. We bring on the biggest casting directors, agents, actors, writers, directors, and producers in TV. We host private Zoom calls just for our members. And ultimately, chew the fat and really dig into what makes for a successful career, whether that's an agent, how you would sign with them, if it's a casting director, exactly step by step what you would have to do to land, a self-tape or an audition with them. Or if it's an actor, we dive into their career and reverse engineer exactly how they've achieved what they've achieved. And tomorrow night's guest is an actor that we're going to be doing just that with. Any fans of ITV's The Bay, our very own Acts on This member, David Carpenter, is a lead, one of the regulars in The Bay. Lots of our members have had smaller roles on The Bay. Stars Dan Ryan, some other incredible cast, including tomorrow night's guest. Dan's been on Acts on This quite a few times. John's got a capital yes there. Tomorrow night we have got James Clarky Clark from The Bay, aka Andrew Dowbiggin, an incredible actor who came to the industry not late in life, but later than a lot of people. Kind of very late 20s, early 30s, was in a construction job, steel and construction, and we're just like, hang on a minute. There's something. The way he described it to me yesterday was like, there's just a void he just felt in his chest. He's like, there is something just not being fulfilled in my life here, right? He'd always wanted to act. Didn't really know how to get into it. I don't know. I'm going to talk to him about it tomorrow night, whether, again, that was a mindset thing, maybe background, maybe he's limited around what he thought he could and couldn't do. I don't know. I know when I was growing up, I thought that acting was just for rich kids and you had to be super, super rich to go to drama school. It's not the case at all. But I didn't know any better. So I don't know if, maybe some of that was playing into, Andrew's psyche as well. But he just said he just felt lost, like a big void. Something was missing from his life, so he started pursuing acting. And I won't spoil it now, but some of the stories we're going to go over tomorrow in terms of the hustle that this guy went through in the first few years of his career. He was not shy to freaking get involved in anything. That the shittest of jobs that people would look down their noses at and go, I'm not doing that. I want to go straight into TV. There'd be people I wouldn't want to do, and I know there's people in the community who have done it. I respect people so much because it's such hard work, but theatre in education is so hard work. It's brilliant experience, but you're literally, sometimes touring different countries in a van with all of your props and stuff in your set, and you're going to 3 schools a day, you're setting it up, you're doing a show, you're taking it down, you're driving on to another one, setting it up, doing it, taking it down. Massive respect for people who do that. Andrew did that, starting off. Lots of other things as well that we're going to discuss tomorrow. Obviously, now you see him starring in a flagship ITV show, but it's just not been that way for him. His entire career. He's really, really worked hard. We're going to really interesting story around agents that we're going to dive into. But yeah, it's just going to be a real under the microscope look at what the reality is of building a career in this industry for most people. Occasionally we'll get guests on. Not many, actually. I don't know how many guests, because I always research the guests, obviously. I don't know how many guests we've had on over the last 13 years who it's just all fallen into place and they found it easy. I can't think of any, to be honest. Some have found it easier than others. But Andrew's just got some like incredible stories that he'll be sharing with us tomorrow night. So if you're in a bit of a place right now, again, when it comes to mindset, where you're feeling a bit shit, maybe 2023 has not gone your way just yet. Maybe you're like, oh God, I just feel like I'm swimming uphill all the time. Not uphill. You can't swim up a hill, can you? Well, maybe you could swim upstream. Against the current. If you're just feeling that you're just always against the current, this will be a really good session tomorrow night. It's 8 p.m. It's just a little bit about what we're going to be talking about. Actors, if you are looking to crush it in top TV drama this year, and there is still time, right? And you're prepared to get your hustle on to make it happen, I want to invite you to our next ActOnThis.tv live mastermind session. It's taking place on Tuesday, the 15th of August at 8 p.m. on Zoom with this absolute legend here, star of so many massive TV shows, including Silent Witness, ITV's Scylla, Sky's Cobra, and of course you'll know him as DS James Clarky Clark in ITV smash hit The Bay. It's Andrew Dowbiggin in the house. Andrew, thank you so much for doing this, mate. What are we going to be chatting about on Tuesday night then?
Oh, Ross, you're welcome, mate. So Tuesday, we're going to be chatting about maybe how I got into the game, what age I was when I got into the game, my expectations, and the actual reality of it all. And maybe a little bit about how I became DS Clark, where I am now.
Absolutely. And the guy, I mean, he's being very modest here, but this guy's hustle, like behind the scenes, some of his first jobs when he got into the industry, you're really going to hear the reality of what it takes to build a successful acting career. So it's going to be proper, open, honest, and vulnerable, but he's a grafter, he's a hustler. If you want to get involved in this, get yourself over right now to actonthis.tv/live for full details of this session and all sessions. We do this literally every single week with the biggest casting directors, agents, actors, writers, directors, producers in TV, the best people in the industry, Andrew, including yourself. So get yourself over actonthis.tv/live. And then why, it's a bit of pressure. Why do actors want to miss this session in particular?
Well, it's the beginning of the week and we want to start the week positively. So it's Tuesday. Get hungry, get started. You got the rest of the week ahead of you. What else are you going to do? I'm here, you're here. Let's have some fun.
Nice. Let's make it happen. Be there, actors. Basically, if you're prepared to bet on yourself to win for the rest of 2023, you will be there. actonthis.tv/live. actonthis.tv/live to get your seat if you've not already got a membership. But yeah, if you are prepared to bet on yourself for the rest of this year, if you're like, look, if I was going at the bookies, I'll be putting, I don't know, 25 quid down. No, more than that. You bet more than that on yourself, wouldn't you? You're going to go to the bookies, you're going to put 10 grand on yourself to win. If you're in that sort, if you're down for that, it's not going to cost you 10 grand, by the way. Membership to Acts on This will cost you like 6 quid a week. But yeah, if you're prepared to at least put 6 quid a week down on yourself in the bookies, come and get involved. If you're like, look, I'm going to bet on myself to win rather than betting against yourself, which is what so many actors do. They just bet against themselves. And you can see from that clip, sunshine like shines out of Andrew's face. He's like, look, it's early in the week. We're keeping it positive. Anything could happen. Come on, let's, get hungry. Let's go. And yeah, he's a very humble guy, but he's worked his ass off and still continues to. His career's still not easy, as is nobody's. Like, it still doesn't just get, like completely easy. The more roles that you get, there's still always challenges. As Matt said on the Mindset session last week, and we say in Bulletproof Factor, for every level, there's another devil. You're never going to have it straightforward. I can see Liz is in the house. Just saw Liz. Liz Thompson, how you doing? Congrats on the advert. I saw your advert with Roy Keane. Yes. More of that, please, Liz. More of that. Well done. It's good. Liz, you should be starring in something. Liz is really good, and you just need to be starring in something, Liz. It'll happen at some point. You just got to stay in the game. Tom has sent 6 emails to casting directors and got 2 replies in the last 2 weeks. Good work, Tom. Excellent. That's good to see. Joe's been sending subs out on Spotlight as well, and Tom's down for getting a part in the Bay. And Alex, is this you, mate? Saying that you've done theatre in education? What I was talking about. Because he says having to de-ice the car at 6 a.m. and pick up the other actors to drive to a school an hour away. Oh, mate, it's probably better than working in retail or doing some of those jobs that just sap the life out of you when you try to, support yourself as an actor. I did 11 years in retail, and I don't know, some mornings I probably would have preferred to de-ice the car and go and pick actors up. But I can't drive, so that would have been I'm visually impaired. That would be a really interesting drive. I don't think any other actors would want me de-icing a car and go to pick them up at 6 a.m. in the morning, Alex. Because I can't see in the dark, mate, at all. That'd be a very interesting ride. I'm never driving unless I can. This is a miraculous cure for my eyes. Lucy said, I've done some theatre and education. There's a lot of hard work, and try to get it all set up and set down in a time frame is tough, but it's really rewarding. Yeah, that's one thing that I think is pretty good, isn't it? You know what? Like, if you get a good audience you can probably get some audiences that are pretty brutal as kids, though, can't you? I'm sure there's a few that you're like, you little sods. But if you get a good audience and, the kids are buzzing and they're laughing and, it's educational as well, I guess that is super rewarding. But I guess it's down to the schools that you're going to. Kids are funny, aren't they? They just say whatever is on their mind. No filter. Satch, thanks for being here, mate. Good to see you. Right, what else is going down here? Liz says, currently spamming... what's that? Emails to casting directors I've had some kind of relationship with a link to the advert. Got to be done. Yes, Liz, it does. Absolutely does. United fans particularly with Roy Keane. I'm trying to think of like people in the industry who are massive on United. I know Nicola Schindler, one of the best exec producers, well, not exec producers, just producers, best people in the industry, full stop, made her company Red Production Company based on Man United. So now she has Key Street Productions, but you know what? Could be an in there. Don't know if she's a Roy Keane fan, but could be worth popping out there, Liz. You never know. Right, so that's going on tomorrow night anyway. With Andrew Dowbiggin, incredible session. Honestly, please come and join us for that one if you can make it live. If you can't, don't worry. The replay will be in your members area on what day are we on? On Wednesday. Wednesday afternoon, I will have the replay of that in the members area for you. A couple of other little bit of housekeeping, just to give people a heads up. Don't forget our member-only meet-up that's happening on the first Saturday of September. So it's only 2 weeks away now, so I want to mention it now. I'll show you where you can get details on this. Just if you're ever wondering, as an Acts on This member, what's coming up, I get people who are like, what's happening? I'm like, all the schedules in your members area. You've got the weekly live call schedule here, folks. So you can go and check out the upcoming calls that are in there that are happening. You've got your Rapid Fire Friday sessions here, so you can see the upcoming dates of when they're happening. There are bi-weekly coaching sessions where you just jump on and ask whatever questions you want. And our monthly socials, 2 times out of the quarter they happen on Zoom. I need to delete that one. That's happened on the 5th of August. But our next one is in person, 2nd of September. I'm going to put more details up around locations and stuff, but that's Saturday, the 2nd of September, sorry. The Manchester one is happening at 53-2 in Manchester, Watson Street, brilliant theatre. I'll be hosting that one with Petch. And then Tom, do you know where you're hosting the London one this month, Tom? Next month, let me know. The London one's generally a little later. I think you normally do it 2 till 5, Tom, in case people have got acting classes and stuff. I think more seems to happen down in London on a weekend. But let us know, Tom, if you've got a... what you're saying? There's a train strike on the 2nd. That's annoying again. If they that's confusing for members if they're happening on different days. Right, is there no avoiding that, Tom? What is it, like a complete train strike? Why do these keep happening? Can we not sort these out yet? Because this happened last time. Right, okay, well, you need some lock off the details completely, Tom, if you don't mind, mate, so that they're definitive. And if you could drop me an email with exactly the location, the date and the time, because I know there will be people who will have, potentially booked that weekend off, thinking that it's that date. So let us know, Tom, ASAP, mate. Drop me an email if you don't mind, ross@actsonthis.tv with the details on that. I thought the train strikes were like well behind us. Can people stop? I'm going to go on strike. I'm going on strike unless unless I pay myself more. Right, I'm going to pay myself more. Fine, I'm not striking anymore. That's fine. That's a shame, but let me know, Tom, what the crack is with that. And Alex has got a really embarrassing moment, it says here, about his first theatre and education, climbing and standing on a table in a scene, and the table tipped and he fell flat on his beep. Alex, did you film it? You could, but if You've Been Framed was still on, 250 quid. That, do you remember You've Been Framed? What a good show that was. It was pretty cruel, though, wasn't it? We basically just sat there on a Sunday night. I remember it particularly. I'm sure it was Sunday nights because I would go to school the next day. I'd get to watch You've Been Framed with a cheese sandwich. and we'd basically just laugh at people falling off stuff. Cruel, really, but you probably couldn't do that these days. There'd probably be some sort of like, I don't know, you're not allowed, probably some sort of legislation around laughing at other people who have hurt themselves. But back in the day, yeah, You've Been Framed was a classic. Right, so I think we've covered quite a lot of housekeeping. We're going to do some Q&A. If anybody's got any questions at all that you just need help with, anything literally at all to do with the acting industry, your career, anything, marketing yourself, headshots, show reels, agents, casting directors, side hustles, escaping your day job, anything at all, drop them into the chat now if you're here on Facebook. We'll just cover as much as we can before 10 p.m. A couple of other things that I wanted to just put out there. I'm thinking, because I keep mentioning it, but I've not done this in ages. If I go into the Acts on This members area again, anyone who's a member of actsonthis.tv, remember, don't forget, you've got access to the Acts on This affiliate scheme. And that's this red product, which is down here. Basically, anybody who has a current membership can join as an affiliate to actsonthis.tv. And what an affiliate is, basically, it's like a little supporter of the community. And if you're an affiliate, you will get given, you can register through this product that's in your members area anytime you want. Follow the instructions. There's videos here. You can register for an affiliate account, and you'll get given a link. And your link is unique to you. If you pass that link on to any other actors, and it's not about spamming people and being overbearing. We can't have any of that. It's not like I'm just going to post my link absolutely everywhere and just annoy people. But if you consciously, say you join one of our weekly Zoom sessions, you have a really great time on it. You might want to put a tweet out afterwards going, oh, this was a really great call. You take a screenshot of the call and you just say, highly recommend, people get involved in this, and you post your link. That's fine. That's not spammy. Anyone who clicks on your link, they're going to be tracked for 30 days. And if they then go on and get a membership, you will get 25% commission for as long as they're a member if it's a monthly membership, or you'll get 10% commission if it's a yearly membership for as long as they're a member. So, if they're paying £27 a month for their membership, you'll get like £6.75 a month ongoing, like for every month they're a member. So if you can bring 4 people into the membership, your membership's costing you nothing. And that's effectively you getting 100% back. But there's people who have got, 20 people on their, affiliate link every single month. So they're just getting paid, to just help me grow the community, basically. So I was wondering if people want me to do a training on that. Maybe we'll just do a Zoom call for members, not as one of our weekly calls. It'd be an extra thing, on a random weekday night where I just walk you through actually, how you can do that effectively. Because I just think it's a way that you can help me obviously grow the community, which is great for the community. But also I know actors need more money right now. And maybe, if you bring in 10 people, and I'll end up giving you, what would that be? I'd give you nearly £70 a month. So that's what, 840 quid a year. That's going to pay for your spotlight. That's going to pay for your headshots, and it's probably going to pay for a showreel scene shot from scratch. And all you're having to do for that is bring in 10 actors who you might know who would get value from this community. So I just thought, we've not done a training session on that literally for like 2 years since I created the scheme. I've just not had time, but I thought we should probably do that because it's just a way, for you to maybe even like take a day a week off your day job. If you're working in retail or you're working in a bar and you hate it, by actually just promoting Act on This via social media or via your acting class that you go to or via Actors WhatsApp group you might be a part of or a Facebook group you might be a part of, all this sort of stuff, you can earn some decent money, and obviously, it's really, really good for the community. It helps me bring more actors in, more awareness, and it helps me, just go bigger and better, bring you more guests. The bigger the community, the bigger the guests get. So let me know if that would be helpful for people, and we'll definitely do that. Right, let's dive into some questions. Nat says, "What was the accountant you recommended?" So Nat, let me just take you over to the members area again. I'll keep sharing my screen tonight. Go into your premium membership, Nat. This guy changed my life financially and just sort of like stress reducer. I used to get really stressed over my accounts and stuff. Glyn makes it really easy. Just go into here, type GLYN, just search for Glyn. Oh, it's already filled his name in for me, Glyn Jelly. And just look for this session here, setting up as a self-employed actor with Top Actors accountant Glyn Jelly. Again, actors are going to pass on this one, because they're like, oh, that's not sexy. I just want to go to the sessions that are full of casting directors. If you've not watched this session, you've not set yourself up as self-employed as an actor, regardless of whether you're earning money from your career now or not, you're throwing away thousands of pounds. That's the reality of it. If you are trying to, create a career as an actor, and you're pushing forward with it, and that means you're spending money on an Act on This membership, potentially, on Spotlight, potentially, equity, headshots, show reels, all this expenditure each year. If you're not registered as self-employed, you can't offset that expenditure against future profits. So what you're doing is you're just spending that money, and then you're getting no tax relief for it whatsoever. So if you get in touch with Glyn, Nat, he does an offer for Acts on This members. It's super cheap. I can't remember. I think it's $150 or something like that. It's so cheap. 150 quid. He'll set you up as self-employed, and that includes, I think, your first year's tax return. Dirt cheap. Yeah, I think it's still that. Maybe, I don't know. I mean, that just seems crazy cheap, but that's what he used to do. So it's worth having a look on here now. And I think I've even put have I put a link? Yeah, I put a link to his Twitter there. And you can find his email address on his Twitter as well. You can find the Summit Chartered Accountants sort of website. You just drop him a tweet, say, Glyn, Ross, said you do a great deal for Acts on This members for setting up as self-employed. He'll go through that deal with you. It's exclusive for Acts on This members. And then you can basically start then offsetting all your expenditure for the last year. So anything you spent on your acting career at all. And there are specific things. A lot of actors get this wrong as well. It's not hair gel. It's not haircuts. It's not teeth whitening. It's not your gym membership. That's all bullshit. People think, oh, I'm an actor, I can claim that back. No, you can't. You're just not educated in this. And if HMRC ever actually investigated you, which they will do, they can do that for really, small amounts of money. They came after me for £2 now because I didn't declare a bank account that had £8 interest in that I forgot about. So they will come after you, regardless of what you earn. If they look into your accounts and you're claiming for all that sort of stuff, which you're not allowed to, you will get a fine and you'll have to pay all that money back. Plus potentially, like a fine of £500-600. So you've really got to know what you can claim your expenses for, but you could basically be racking up lots of losses now, Nat, depending on how much you're earning from your career. So say you spent £1,000 on your Spotlight, equity, headshots, show reels this year, which are legitimate expenses, but you've not earned any money back. That's great. We register a minus £1,000 loss for this year. Next year, let's say you earn £1,000. You're not going to pay a penny tax on that £1,000 because we're going to offset that £1,000 loss against it. If you don't do that, then you're going to pay £200 tax. Plus, you've thrown away anything, you've just spent £1,000 this year by just, spending stuff and not actually getting any tax relief for it. So people are literally, potentially, throwing away £1,000 and that by not being registered as self-employed. So get on it, people. Honestly, people are like, oh, I'll do it when I start earning money. I'm like, no, because you're just wasting money by not doing it now. But yeah, Glyn's the best in the business as well, in my opinion. He looks after huge actors and relatively, completely new unknown actors as well, but production companies. He's based in Media City, around the TV industry. He really gets it. He knows actors inside out, can save you lots of money legitimately, but also save you a lot of hassle as well, try to do it yourself. So yeah, Glyn Jelly, Summit Chartered Accountants, Nat. He gets a 10 out of 10 from me, and he's a total legend. I think I'm going for breakfast with him on Wednesday, maybe. Good guy. So I hope that helps, Nat. Get on it. Tell him I sent you and he'll look after you. Right, let's have a look. Alex says they're brilliant as well. Nice one, Alex. Already set up as self-employed, says Nat. We've got the tutoring business launching soon, so what I'll make sure all of it is in order. Yeah, Glyn will be able to help you with it all, because I have my own acting career. I have 2 businesses as well on top of that, Nat, and he makes it all really, really streamlined. So it's all good in the hood. Let's have a look. Anyone else got any questions? Let me know. John says, only question I can think of right now is equity. Was a student member in the past, but I'm wondering views on joining it again. But other than going catch up on past videos and that's on this. So I mean, equity stuff we have spoken about on past videos and that's on this, John. There are a lot of benefits to it. A lot of benefits. It just depends where you're at in your career and if you think you can afford it. It's means tested though. So in terms of you only pay in alignment with what you're earning from your acting career. I think the minimum payment is, we looked at this just a couple of weeks ago, I think it's 12 quid, something like that, around about that anyway, a month. And obviously you just pay that monthly across a year. But the benefits would be all kinds of things, John, from a pension, They have a pension scheme. If you are earning money from your acting career, if you pay into your pension, they will match it, which is great. It's just free money, effectively. You will get £10 million worth of indemnity insurance. So say you are putting on your own show. You don't need to go out and get insurance or anything like that, or say you're out and about filming. Maybe you're doing a short film, or maybe you're doing a documentary, or God knows what. I used to do a vlog around Media City. For me to get a filming permit in Media City, I needed indemnity insurance. Say, for instance, I left the tripod out in the middle of Media City and someone fell over it and broke their hip. They're suing me for that, aren't they? So don't do that. But yeah, that's what your insurance is for, in case anything like that happens. Maybe you're putting on a show at the Edinburgh Fringe and, I don't know, a light falls on somebody that you've set up. And that happened to me in the theatre. A light fell about 6 feet, smashed me on the head. Awful, awful. Really bad concussion. I was puking the next day. I had to go to hospital. Was fine, though. Obviously, I'm still here. But yeah, so the insurance side of it is good. And then obviously there's just all the support that you can get. Say, for instance, you do a job, you don't get paid. There's the legal side of Equity that will help you pursue that case. And then there's all the Equity meetups that they do. You can vote in the elections. There's lots of benefits, and it just supports our industry as a whole. So I think it's sort of all of our duty to support Equity as a union and pay into it if we can. It just might not be possible depending on what people's financial situation is. But I think when you get to a point where you can afford it, we have a duty to pay it in. Just because Equity do an awful lot of work on our behalf. Equity-packed contracts wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for Equity in terms of minimum pay for actors and stuff like that. Just, it would be a lot easier to exploit actors if Equity weren't around. So it's worth doing. It's definitely worth doing. But yeah, just if you're in a position to, to actually pay in. The second you start earning from your career, you really should start doing that. I just think it's the right thing to do. Dan, how are you doing? It says, come across you guys. I'm currently a supporting artist, and I've been on many TV programs such as Casualty. We Hunt Together. How can I progress my acting career from being a supporting artist? Dan, this is a big question. Well, one, you've got a great start in terms of you've been on set, you understand how it works, you've got a lot of knowledge of the technical side of things and just the logistics of how a set works. So that's fantastic. The first thing would be to work on your craft initially as an actor. So if you're used to doing, supporting artist stuff, and you're, happy and confident to walk around a set, like how happy and confident would you be, if you had lines on camera, how is your ability as an actor for screen acting? It's obviously a very different discipline to acting on stage. So the first thing for me would be to go to some quality screen acting classes, get to a point where you're really comfortable and you've honed your craft for a good 6 months or so. And then from there, I would be looking to get an agent. I'd be looking to get representation. Now, if you went to a screen acting class, Dan, you would have potentially, this is what I did when I first started out, 2 or 3 over that 6 months, standout scenes that you've recorded. They don't have to be, professionally shot. They can just be class environment footage, effectively, just showing your ability. That's how I got one of my first agents, through taking 2 or 3 clips from class that were contrasting. I thought, I'm really showing my ability in those clips, and that was what I sent to agents in order to get a meeting. Actually got like 3 or 4 meetings with some great agents off the back of those class clips. Once you're really confident in your ability, you could get some shot from scratch showreel material. So once a quarter, Dan, we do something for ActsOnThis.tv members called Showreel Surgery. I'm just in the members area here. If you've never seen the site before, this is the membership. Every week we sit down with the biggest names of the game and just talk about how you can, have success in the industry, basically. Biggest casting directors, agents, actors, writers, producers, but also this guy, Chris Stone, one of the industry's top showreel producers. And what we do on this session, Dan, is we play 5 actors' showreels out, and we critique them. And give, ultimately an 8-step formula, really, of how you can have more success with your showreel. And Chris, he shoots actors' showreels from scratch. So you wouldn't want to do this without, being really, really confident in your ability, because they're quite expensive. They're probably 400 quid a scene, but these will be literally like broadcast quality scenes. So you might want to get one of those shot eventually. And then from having an agent, you can get on Spotlight. And then when you're on Spotlight, your agent can start submitting you for work, and then you can start auditioning for stuff. It's a long kind of process. It's quite organic. You can't really rush it. There's no, corners to jump over. You're going to want to do it properly if you want to sustain your career. But the first step, would be quality screen acting classes, basically, not theatre. Screen classes where you can see yourself on camera every single week, because you'll pick up a lot on you. It's funny the first time you start seeing yourself like on screen close up. All of your tics and your little things, and I'm like, do I blink that much, or do I move my arms like that? Obviously, when you're shooting TV, sometimes the camera can be 6 inches from your face. It can pick up every single thought going through your head. So learning how to control all that is really, really vital, for a good performance. But that's that would be sort of like the route to start with, Dan. Definitely. So it's just, if you're super, super happy on set, I think you see you there saying, yeah, you've done lots of walk on stuff. If you're super, super confident, happy on set, then it's like, right, well, you're going to need to start working with text and start shooting scenes in a class environment with other actors as well, because a lot of acting is listening. So that's why people shouldn't really have monologues for TV on their show reel. It's pointless, really. So much of acting is reacting when it's on screen. So agents and casting directors will want to see you, reacting and listening to other people. But yeah, good luck. And if I don't know if you're a member of ActsOnThis.tv. So ultimately, what we do every single week is sort people through this with the biggest names in the game. You get a trial to the website for £1 for just for 7 days. Check it all out for 7 days for £1. If you did that today, you could join us tomorrow night with ITV star of ITV's The Bay, actor Andrew Dowbiggin. Again, looking at how he started off in the industry, how he's got to where he's got now. So yeah, best of luck. Tom says he's doing a BSL course. Yeah, definitely worth it, mate. 100%. What a great skill that is, and it's appearing more and more in TV. That's a huge, a great skill that not many actors have. You don't know when that would set you apart, mate. From other people. I don't know many actors who can sign. So yeah, that would definitely be a good one. So Jen, so the affiliate scheme, basically you get a link that's private to you, just for your account when you're an affiliate. If you share that affiliate link with other actors and they sign up to Act on This, you would get a commission based on which type of membership they buy. But yeah, it's something that I'll probably do another training on just for members of ActsOnThis.tv soon. Faye says, Ross, what do I do if I've still not heard anything from my agent? So this agent you were talking about, so you've rang the office last week, was told they were out of the office, but they would pass message on, still didn't hear anything last week, emailed again today. It just doesn't sound great, does it? Just don't know what to make of it. You need to speak to them. So if they were away last week, and yet they've not got back to you today, I would be ringing and just saying, when will they be in the office? Could they possibly ring me? In fact, I wouldn't even say could they ring me. Just say, just wondering, could you tell me when they'll be back, and I'll, just so I know that they're going to be in next time I ring. Because it's not good etiquette from an agent leaving an actor hanging like that, to be honest, Faye. It's difficult, unless they've got some sort of personal issue that's come up in their life, which is completely fine. That happens to all of us. It's not really good having a meeting. So for context, Faye had a meeting with an agent that she really wanted to sign with. The meeting went really, really well. It's totally normal for an agent and an actor to then go away, decide on whether they want to sign with each other effectively. And then normally, you would get an answer either way from an agent within a week. Faye didn't hear anything, rang, was told the agent wasn't in, still hasn't heard anything now. Just seeing, so I say, unless they've had an emergency and something crazy's gone on in their life, which is fine, it's just not very good etiquette, that, Faye. So I would potentially give them another ring this week. And if they're not in the office again, I'd just be like, look, when will they be in the office? Because I really want to know. Just say, because, there's other agents, who, I've got meetings lined up with. This is, and you can be honest, say, this is my priority in terms of, like, I'd love to sign with you guys over the other agents if that's the case. But I need to know, because I need to know whether I should take these other meetings or not. Because that kind of puts a little bit of sort of pressure on them a little bit as well. Like, they're going to lose you to another agent. That's, you can do that in a nice, non-arrogant way, that would definitely make them, give you an answer, probably, much sooner rather than later. So yeah, that'd be my advice. You need to be in touch with them again this week. Emails, if it's not cutting it, you need to ring again. Right, let's have a look. What other questions have we got here? Glad that helped, Dan. Cheers, mate. Satch says, I'm still attending my course in London called Kingdom, but also have an opportunity to learn from Rachel Shenson. in a course in the Midland Screen Acting School in Staffordshire. I know Rachel really, really well. I just did a radio play with Rachel. I've known Rachel years, such. And Midland Screen Acting School, yeah, they do some really good stuff there. My question is it worth doing both? Context, London course runs for 1 year on Sundays, and the Midlands course runs for 6 months running on Saturdays. Oh, I mean, it depends if you want to give up your entire weekend, Satch, to your acting craft, which you might want to do. And it also depends on what your finances are like, because I guess doing 2 courses at once is going to be quite expensive. I can vouch for Rachel though, and it's Amanda Andrews who runs the Midland Screen Acting School with Rachel. But yeah, their intention is always really good and pure. Rachel's obviously an Academy Award-winning actor and writer. Her husband Chris has won an Academy Award as well. They both won for The Silent Child. Amanda Andrews has been in the industry like forever. I've known Amanda a long time as well, so she knows what she's doing. And I've talked at a couple of their classes, so yeah, they're decent. Maybe you should do. I'm sure they'll let you do a taster session, Satch. I think that's really good for all actors. If you're thinking of doing a new acting course, a new class, any class sort of worth their salt would allow you to come and sit in and audit. It's not necessarily saying you're going to go and take part in a class. Maybe you just want to. I would be like, look, I just want to sit at the side and just see how you work. And any decent acting class will be like, yeah, of course, come in. So what I mean is why I give people a trial to act on this for £1. I'm like, look, come and kick the tires on the site. You'll see how amazing it is. I want people to come and get involved. So if I ran an acting class, I'd be like, yeah, come and sit in on the class. Have a watch of how we work with our students before you commit to, actually, paying any money or enrolling on anything. So I would do that, such as see if they offer any little, little sort of audit that you could do. Right, what else is happening here? Yeah, Faye, definitely ring. If it just seems like you've been passed around there, unfortunately, I'd ring again. Liz says, let's have a look. Oh, it's more advice for Dan. Get involved in short films. Yeah, that's a good call as well. Short films, really good experience of being on set with speaking roles. Loads of Facebook groups that list castings. Yeah, if you just search for short film. In the Facebook groups option, if you go on Facebook search, and it'll say where do you want to search, like people or groups, and just search for groups, short films, and you'll find loads of groups where they post castings. A lot of them will be free. You'll end up having to work for free or for expenses, but I think picking your battles there is quite useful. You're not going to want to do everything for free for the rest of your career, but if you see a director about to direct something that looks good, that's really to your casting type, you can look at their previous work and see that it's decent. Maybe some of their previous short films have won in film festivals and they've had some good exposure. The director looks like they're up and coming. Then definitely get involved with stuff like that. It's good advice, Liz. What's that, Alice? I missed your comment, mate. He says, I think my comment was missed. How are you doing, Ross? We never ask about you. Thanks, Alex. That's a nice question. I'm good, mate. I am like run off my feet the last 2 weeks. Obviously, thank you, by the way, to everybody who's enrolled in this year's First TV Role Fast Track. Doors for that closed on Friday night. So my entire existence over the last month, Alex, has been sort of renewing the First TV Role Fast Track program. That's a program we run once a year for actors who really want to go deep on getting their first TV role, basically. We've taken a few hundred actors through that program now. Dozens have got their first TV role, even 2 or 3 roles now. And we've just taken a new intake in for 2023. It won't open again. Unfortunately, if you missed it, you've missed it. It won't open again until 2024, probably this time next year. So I'm super excited about that, Alex. And you're still in the fast track group from a previous intake. So you're still hustling, man. I'm like, for Alex, it's just a matter of time. Dude, you've got to get your first TV role before Christmas, man. 100%. It's got to happen. You're doing everything right. Maybe we need to shoot some more stuff, shoot some different stuff. I don't know what you're doing on that score for new material, for even more reasons to reach out to people, but just a matter of time. So that's where I was up to, just sort of focusing on that. So now we've got 5 weeks of coaching where we take actors live through each of the modules on that, Alex. So I'm going to be, busy with that. Obviously, we've got our weekly live calls as well. For the membership, so it's going to be a pretty intensive time. But that's probably the most intense time of the year is the launch. So I'm glad that is done. That is over for this year. And I'm all right. I'm pretty good. I'm going to get more sleep now. And I'm back in the gym. I'm still eating healthy. I'm all right. But thank you for asking, mate. Appreciate that. Right, let's have a look. Anyone else? Nat says she's just sent a show reel to be edited. She's writing a new day player scene to shoot this week. Good work, Nat. Excellent. What's that, Joe? You said my question was missed. It's on Spotlight. What are you talking about, Joe? What question on Spotlight have you missed? Type it in again for me, Joe, if I've missed it. Facebook doesn't seem to show me everything, unfortunately. But I'll definitely answer that, Joe, if you can copy and paste it from where you previously had it. Paul says, how many acting for screen classes is enough? I'm currently only in one a week, but I think I should be doing more. Should I do 3 or more? No, Paul, doing 1 really well, if it's weekly, is enough. But, I think you sent me a message, you're doing Act for TV. Act for TV do great classes. If you're working hard enough in those classes, so I don't know how they work these days. Are you getting material to prepare? That's how it used to work before you go to class and stuff. As long as you're doing, because that's going to take you, time through the week before your class and stuff. As long as you're putting time into that, you're really giving it your best when you are in class. You're asking for feedback. You're taking that on board. You're going away and maybe working on that feedback, for the next week or whatever. In terms of craft-wise, that's more than enough, like to not be getting overwhelmed, and obviously not just hemorrhaging cash as well. It depends. Maybe you're loaded, Paul, but if you're doing 3 classes a week, that can be a lot of money. It can also sometimes be conflicting in terms of, depends what you resonate with. There's no real right way to learn acting, in my opinion. I've been to so many different classes over the years, and I went to a 3-year drama school degree as well, where different directors came in and they all had different opinions on technique and how to direct actors and stuff like that. And what you find, Paul, I did anyway, you just start cherry picking bits of everybody's technique and you come up with your own effectively. But if you're doing it all at once, you're being directed by 3 different people all at once or 3 different classes, you might find that you're being bombarded with conflicting information. And, sometimes you need to just take it one step at a time so you can almost allow what you're being taught in one class to percolate through you. And you just sort of pick out the bits that you like. And you're like, right, now I've got what I needed from that class. So I'm just going to do this class maybe for a year. And then I'm going to move on to, maybe you go to Act Up North and you do a class with David Crowley or something like that for a year. David runs classes in Leeds, Manchester and Liverpool, I think. Fantastic classes, Act Up North. Act for TV, fantastic though as well. So maybe you do a year at one, then a year at the other. I think if you're doing 2 at once, I don't know, maybe you might be giving conflicting advice. Not that there's right or wrong. I just mean that people will be, sort of have slightly different opinions on the way you break down a script and the way you approach stuff, which could just get a little bit sort of confusing for you. But what I would do with your other time is there's 3 parts to the industry, Paul. Basically, you've got the craft, which you've got nailed down there. Rather than doing more craft, you need to be working on the business of the business, which is what actonthis.tv is all about. Now, I think you're in the middle of a trial for actonthis.tv. Come and join us on the call tomorrow night, so you'll see what the membership's really about with the live calls. Dive into the stuff in the members area as well, and you're going to start building such a good knowledge of the business of the business. So you're working on your craft, and then you're understanding the business of the business. The third piece of the puzzle, in my opinion, then is working on yourself personally in terms of your psychology and your mindset. Because you can be the best actor in the world, you can understand the business of the business, but if you're not motivated, if you don't have any energy, if you're full of limiting beliefs, your confidence isn't high, you have a bad experience at an audition and it just rocks you, and then you're full of limiting beliefs going into your next auditions and stuff. If your mindset's not right, it doesn't matter. All the other stuff will just go out the window. So for me, it's sort of like a triad of things that you really need to get right. It's the craft, it's the business side of the business, and then it's the mindset, it's the personal development side, the mental toughness that you need to work on. So rather than doing 3 classes, focus on those 3 areas. Do your acting class, take part in actonthis.tv every week. You'll get the business side down, very, very quickly. And then do something that's going to help you grow your mindset, and just, your belief system, your psychology. We do a really in-depth program, like I say, bulletproofactor.com. That'll be launching later this year again for our yearly intake for people who really want to go deep on high performance, positive psychology when it comes to the acting industry. But that's what I'd do, Paul. I'd be focusing on those 3 areas, mate. Don't go all in on 3 lots of acting classes. Go acting classes, business of the business, and mindset. I would go into those 3 areas. Right, what else is happening? I'm missing some comments here again. Sorry, folks. It's just all firing off to... sounds bad. It's all just firing up the page too quickly. Right. Let's have a look. Joe says, are headshots too corporate looking? And what do I write if self... What you said there? You put self-syncing there, Joe. Do you mean self-submitting? Your headshots, I'm not sure. I've not seen them, Joe. If you've got an inkling they're too corporate, maybe they are too corporate. I can't remember. I think you sent Petch your headshots last time, didn't you? And well, I don't know who took them. I'd have to have a look at them, Joe. But you could post them in the Facebook group by all means if you wanted to. The ones that you've chosen, or just a link to your Spotlight actually be enough. And people can have a look at your Spotlight there. When you're self-submitting, you don't often really have to write anything in the submissions box unless there's something very pertinent to the submission. So, for example, we're both visually impaired, Joe, aren't we? So, I'm visually impaired as well. So say there was an acting role that required, an actor, had to have visual impairment. Obviously, that would go in the self-submission box. When you're self-submitting or your agent submitting you on Spotlight for any casting brief, there's a little box where you can add additional information, and you could put anything in there, a link to a video showing a special skill. I don't know, maybe they're after a skateboarder, and you're like, well, I'm a really good skateboarder. Here's a YouTube video of me skateboarding. That'd go in the submissions box. Or something very, very pertinent. Maybe it's a police role, and you were a policeman or woman for 30 years before you became an actor. That would go in the submissions box. If there's nothing super, super pertinent like that, Joe, you don't need to worry about it. Just submitting, a general submission is enough. They can watch your show reel. Obviously, your headshots and stuff are on there. So you don't really need to overthink that. You don't have to put anything in that box every time, just if it's really, really relevant. But post your Spotlight on the Facebook group if you want, Joe, and if you want opinions on those headshots, if you think they're too corporate. I'm sure people will chip in with that for you. Let's have a look. It's probably best to put it in the group, Joe. Just because I only go through my emails really once a week at the moment, just because it's so busy. So I'll just put a link in that. Just put, hey guys, not quite sure about my headshots on my Spotlight profile right now. Here's a link to it. I'm thinking it might look too corporate. What are people's opinions, and just see what people, because you're not asking people to choose your headshot. That'd be very different. Never ever. The worst advice would be to post your headshots in Facebook groups for people to choose. Never do that. But I'm talking about posting your Spotlight with your already chosen headshots on it. So they're like, look, this is my shop window. What do you think of my shop window? And people can have a look there, Joe. I'll have a look as well as soon as I get a sec. That's fine. I'm in the group a lot, multiple times a day. Sophia, hope you're good, Sophia. Thanks for being here. Let's have a look. You've missed a lot of this, but you can catch up. You can catch up straight away as soon as this finishes. The replay will be available. It's gone 10 o'clock. Since when did that happen? I thought it wasn't even 10 o'clock yet. Right, we'll wrap it up in a second, but thank you for joining us tonight, folks. Really, really appreciate it. Like I say, don't forget, tomorrow night, I'll play the trailer out again in a minute. Going to be joined by star of ITV's The Bay, Andrew Dowbiggin. He plays DS James Clark in the show. Really great character, incredible story of how he got into the acting industry, the real work that it took to get where he is, all of the tiny jobs that he did, sometimes for no pay starting out, as he started getting traction, landing agents, all this sort of stuff. We're going to cover it all. We're going to reverse engineer his career completely. And just talk. Yeah, he's an open book, Andrew. He's really, really up for just chatting about anything. I met him in town yesterday for a coffee to chat about what we're going to be chatting about. And he's just so open and honest, and just well up for helping anybody who's looking to work hard to get to where they want to be in the industry. So 8 p.m. tomorrow night. If you're a member of ActOnThis.tv, you will get your Zoom link via email tomorrow at 2 o'clock. You'll also get it again at 7 o'clock, and you can go and get it anytime you want from 11 a.m. from the live call section of your members area. Never forget that. You don't have to wait for the email to get your Zoom link. Okay, if the email gets lost in your junk or whatever, log into your members area, go into the weekly live call section, and the Zoom link will be there every week from 11 a.m. So you can always go and get it from there. But thank you, folks. Very much appreciate you joining me tonight. Hope this has been useful. If you're listening on the audio experience or watching on the replay, drop me a comment, drop me a tweet at Act On This TV. Would love to know just how you're doing, basically. If there's anything we can help you with, and maybe there's a takeaway from this chat tonight that you're gonna, take away. Take away that you're going to take away and do something with, but it's Monday. Anything can happen for the rest of this week. Let's expect good things to happen. And yeah, join me tomorrow night for this session with Andrew Dowbiggin. And I'll play the little teaser trailer out for this as well. But this is 8 p.m. If you want to get a membership, you can either get a trial for £1 actonthis.tv/trial, or if you just want to jump into a full membership, go to actonthis.tv/live, and you can see the full live schedule and get a membership so you can join us for all of those calls on that schedule. So love to you all. Let's have an amazing week, and hopefully I'll catch up with you at 8 p.m. tomorrow night for this. Until next time, bye for now. Actors, if you are looking to crush it in top TV drama this year, and there is still time, right, and you're prepared to get your hustle on to make it happen, I want to invite you to our next actonthis.tv live mastermind session. It's taking place on Tuesday, the 15th of August at 8 p.m. on Zoom with this absolute legend here, star of so many massive TV shows, including Silent Witness, ITV's Scylla, Sky's Cobra, and of course, you'll know him as DS James Clarky Clark in ITV's smash hit The Bay. It's Andrew Dowbiggin in the house. Andrew, thank you so much for doing this, mate. What are we going to be chatting about on Tuesday night then?
Oh, Ross, you're welcome, mate. So Tuesday, we're going to be chatting about maybe how I got into the game, what age I was when I got into the game, my expectations, and the actual reality of it all, and maybe a little bit about how I became DS Clark, where I am now.
Absolutely. And the guy, I mean, he's being very modest here, but this guy's hustle, like behind the scenes, some of his first jobs when he got into the industry, you're really going to hear the reality of what it takes to build a successful acting career. So it's going to be proper, open, honest, and vulnerable, but he's a grafter, he's a hustler. If you want to get involved in this, get yourself over right now to actonthis.tv/live for full details of this session and all sessions. We do this literally every single week with the biggest casting directors, agents, actors, writers, directors, producers in TV, the best people in the industry, Andrew, including yourself. So get yourself over actonthis.tv/live. And then why, it's a bit of pressure. Why do actors want to miss this session in particular?
Well, it's the beginning of the week and we want to start the week positively. So it's Tuesday. Get hungry, get started. You've got the rest of the week ahead of you. What else are you going to do? I'm here, you're here. Let's have some fun.
Nice. Let's make it happen. Be there, actors. Basically, if you're prepared to bet on yourself to win for the rest of 2023, you will be there. actonthis.tv/live.